Feeling good, feeling great. Feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Welcome into Timeline T. I am your host, D Sam D, aka San Duzme Jr. Oh man, this is a quickie one. Had to pull up, and the homie was also talking about the same thing I'm about to talk about, so I had to make sure he was ready. I'm bringing in the homie, Stefon Sheffield's gonna be joining me in a very quick second, but let me just lay this out for y'all. This is an instant stream, so we get into what we know as of right now. Stefon Diggs is no longer a Buffalo Bill. Stefon Diggs is now a Houston Texan. And not only did the Texans get Stefon Diggs, but they also got reasonable draft collateral along with him. So there's a lot to get into there. What does this mean for Josh Allen? Are we now allowed to criticize Josh Allen if the numbers take a dip? Who's left in the Bills receiving room? Will the Bills now try to make a move in the draft to go get a receiver? Where does this place the Texans? Are they now legitimate threats in the AFC? How smart is this of Ryans and them to go out there and go get a bona fide number one in Stefon Diggs to pair with Nico, Mixon, look, y'all know why y'all here. Instant analysis. And to help me break this down is the homie who gave us a full first round mock draft not that long ago, just a few weeks ago, Stefon Sheffield. Let me go ahead and bring him in and unmute him. Stand by 1 second. You see the homie Steph. What is good, bro? Man, it's wild,
What's up,
man.
Disgruntled Cowboy fan here. Disgruntled Cowboy fan here.
Talk about it.
I don't even know what to think right now. Like, it was up for debate last year, but the Cowboys no longer.
Steph had to drop off. He probably had a call. He was doing this on his phone. This is how quick this whole thing has popped off. Are you back, Steph? All right, hang on. Let me get him back in. All right,
my old lady shooting at me. She calling, so I'm being trouble.
Got to check on you. You know how that go.
But she knows that I'm a Cowboy fan, and the Texans just got better. That's probably why she calling. But this is nasty work. This is nasty work. I don't even know what the Bills were thinking by doing this. Like, trading him within the AFC and to a team that was on the rise already? Like, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, first of all, let's talk about who else is in the Bills.
Yes.
Curtis Samuel, who's probably the best, who ain't been good since 2020. You got Khalil Shakur, Mac Hollins, Justin Shorter, come on, KJ Hamler, okay, whatever, Andy Isabella, Brian Thompson, and Tyrell Shavers. Who is that? What are we doing here?
It just doesn't make sense. To me, it's something that just does not make sense. You can't sell me on this. You cannot sell me on this.
Bro, this is nasty work. And you telling me all it took was a fourth? And, bro, look, I have a brother. I have three.
Oh, his phone is getting hit up crazy right now. We're going to let him take care of his BI. You back, Steph? I see you. I don't see you. I'm going to go ahead and mute Steph real quick so he can get the phone right. He's doing this on the phone because we're doing this off the cuff. So he might have to put on the do not disturb so that way calls won't come in and knock him off. But Steph will get straightened out. But I think the main thing for me is, when you look at what this means for me, when you're talking about the people that are left with the Bills, I want to get into, let's look at Josh Allen. This will be a referendum on Josh Allen. When we're looking at the career arc of Josh Allen, you can make two things very clear. There was a pre-Stefon Diggs era and a with Stefon Diggs era. And I've talked about this repeatedly here on this stream, but when we're getting into who Stefon Diggs is and what he meant to Josh Allen, it's a lot, right? Like, clearly you can let me go to the roster and players, and I see Steph is back. I'll bring him back in 1 second. Let me get Josh Allen's stats up, because I think this, to me, is a referendum for Josh Allen, because, and let me make sure let me get Steph back up in here. Give me 1 second. And we got the 2-box. Steph is there. So, Steph, let me unmute you. My bad. Hang on. Let me get that going. All this is on the fly. So, all right, Steph, you back?
Yeah, man. I just hung up on her 3 times and let her know I'm on the pod.
So all good.
I will deal with this after. But yeah, bro, like, I don't I don't know what you think about this, but we got to talk about it because
For sure.
you trade your number one. So let's talk about it. Pre Stefon Diggs, what was Josh Allen? We always said, okay, the potential's there, but you didn't see okay top five QB from him. Completion percentage, yards, none of that. And
Everything
Trevon Diggs
jumped
said
up
it
in
last year.
2020. You see it right here. Everything jumped
Yes,
up in
yes,
2020. That was his first Pro Bowl. That was the first time he threw for
hmm
over 4,000 yards. The first time he threw for
yep,
37 touchdowns. Like, he looked like
hmm
him that very first year with Stefon Diggs. Immediate turnaround.
immediate. That's the last year Curtis Samuel was legit. Okay,
Right.
enough about Curtis Samuel. I'm stop bagging on him. But like Trevon Diggs said it last year. He said, "What were you before my brother got there?" And he wasn't talking shit because look at it. The proof is in the pudding. So if you telling me before Stefon Diggs, this is what he was, with Stefon Diggs is when he took his leap, and now you traded him with the best person being Curtis Samuel and a 1 year or your second year tight end. Come on, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I think, when you watch ball, and me and you
hmm
are folks that definitely watch ball, we know that there was a clear difference before Stefon Diggs and with Stefon Diggs. Now we get to see post Stefon Diggs. And I think that's where this really gets interesting because, Josh Allen is very polarizing. People were killing him the first couple of years, and deservedly so, because he was a turnover
hmm
machine. He was erratic
Still
with his
is.
throws, etc. Then he got Diggs. He was still a turnover machine. He was still erratic with his throws, but he had a real number one wide receiver. And the the,
hmm
the production jumped, as you see here on the screen. Then
Right.
it was the up and down of, well, what is he? Is he really top five? Is he top 10? Can he be a true number one elite franchise QB? Is he up there with Mahomes? Is he
hmm
just a high level Dak, a high level Russell Wilson? Where does he lie? Now we're going to get the real answer because we can both argue all day of what we think, but the numbers are
hmm
so clear that you really can't deny that Josh Allen was markedly better with Stefon Diggs than before Stefon Diggs. So, Steph, to you, what does this mean for Josh Allen coming into this next season? What are you looking to expect from him after this trade?
This year will show me if he can truly live up to the Cam Newton comp. For the longest of times, any quarterback that came into the game since 2010, 2011, whenever Cam got in, if you're 6'5" and you over 225, you got compared to Cam Newton. Now,
Right.
a lot of people are saying Josh Allen is better than Cam Newton. No, Josh Allen has never reached those heights. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
You had a legit number one in Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs, who is better than Kelvin Benjamin, is better than Ted Ginn. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Greg Olsen, I'll give you that. He's top 12, top 15 tight end all time. But regardless, Cam Newton did all that with Kelvin Benjamin, Jonathan Stewart, D'Angelo Williams, and Ted Ginn
Right.
Jr. Okay? So Josh Allen, you gonna have to show me if you really want to live up to those Cam Newton comps that you can make it happen without Stephon Diggs. Now, do I think it can happen? No, I don't, because history has shown us otherwise. Now, if you look at QBs who haven't had a real number one in the past 3, 4 years, right? Who was the most glaring one? Lamar Jackson. Now, is Josh Allen Lamar Jackson? No, he is not. He's not that dynamic of a runner. Lamar take care of the ball way better than Josh Allen does. Even when he has to find, like you said, he turned the ball over way too often. So if you're telling me, hey, we just got rid of your number one, the guy who really made you a top five QB, we gonna need you to do it without him and pretty much with scrubs. Like you're pretty much telling me, okay, it's about to be rebuild season because like the coach is gone, and he was hanging on by a thread anyway
Right.
because he used the OC as a scapegoat last season. So like we talked about off screen, your biggest need coming into the draft right now was DBs, with your only safety on the roster being, the mystery man himself, DeMar Hamlin. Now
Right.
you lost Gabe Davis and you lose Stephon Diggs. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I
Come
mean,
on.
I'll jump in here to the let me see, let me get the screen up here. Me and guest, but screen. Boom. So if we're looking at the board, the big board here, I mean, you're starting to look at Buffalo with the 28th pick. And like you said, you were thinking maybe safety here because you came on here and did a full first round mock draft for us a few weeks ago.
Right.
right as free agency started, and now we're looking at them with that 28th pick. Now you kind of have to look at potential wide receivers and who might still be available at
Right.
28 for Buffalo to replace the Stefon Diggs. And is it fair to even say you can go get someone at the 28th pick that can even replace what Stefon Diggs has meant to not only this offense, but to the rise of Josh Allen?
It's tricky to say because this is a wide receiver rich draft, but you have to think about at that late in the draft, you got to think about who's already gone. Marvin's obviously gone. Rome, he's gone. Malik Neighbors, he's gone. And Brian Thomas may be gone as well. So now you're looking at, Adonai Mitchell or Xavier Worthy. And yes, Xavier Worthy's speed, he's a speedster, but like, you need more than that to replace Stefon Diggs. But Stefon Diggs was a route technician. He
Yeah,
got in and out of
he wasn't
cuts
a
like
burner like that.
nobody's business. He got in and out of cuts like nobody's business. His rack was insane, which is, yards of the catch. Like, that was insane. Stephon Diggs was a legit number one receiver. I'm not saying, Adnan Mitchell can't be that, even Keon Coleman, but like, you're not getting the same dynamic playmaker that Stephon Diggs is. Not that late. Because those three players are already gone. Like I said, that's Marvin. I believe he can come in and be a number one receiver off drip. Rome, he could do the same, and then Malik Neighbors. After that, it's like, okay, the rest of these guys, they can be number ones, but they're not gonna give you the same production that Stephon Diggs did.
And the weirdest part for me with this is like, I don't think necessarily the window was closed on this group, right? Like you obviously have Josh Allen. You gave him the bag right after Mahomes got his 500 M's. You went and gave Josh Allen the bag right after that. So they made that jump early that he's the guy. Now, they made some tinkering. I think they have a good offensive line. I think they've made some good draft in terms of Kincaid and then what they got, James Cook. And I think they have some good pieces there to where the offense was starting to show life, even though they had to go out there and get rid of the OC in the middle of the year last year. I'm surprised they didn't want to run it back one last ride and just put a speedster, because I think that's what's been missing. All the intermediate stuff, that's Diggs all day. He could eat that for lunch. That's light work. They
Right.
were missing that guy. Isaiah McKenzie had a small spell doing it. Gabe Davis, you mentioned, was a guy that at certain times could show flashes, but they never had that consistent guy that could take the top off the defense, which opens up everything, not just for the intermediate Stefon Diggs stuff, but opens up all the running lanes for the guy that, makes people remind themselves of Cam Newton and Josh Allen.
Right. Now, the only thing I could think is if you're gonna go get somebody like T. Higgins and then draft a receiver, okay. But I don't see the Bengals being as crazy as the Bills are. Like,
Yeah.
we're actively competing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was the Chiefs, it was the Ravens. The Bengals are in the mix somewhere. The Bills are in the mix. The Dolphins, when they in sunny weather, in the mix, and the Texans. You know what I mean? So like, if I'm the Bengals, I'm not gonna help you get better. Now they can't control if T. Higgins signs there, but I can't see them. I feel like if the Bills offer him a contract, they'll try to match it because one thing we don't want is for the Bills to get better. So like, you try to waste Stephon Diggs, okay, we ain't gotta worry about y'all now. Like, on to the Ravens. We already beat Mahomes before. Now we gotta do it again, obviously. But now
Right.
I don't know, bro. It's crazy. I don't know what the Bills was thinking with this.
It really is interesting. And let's slide to the team that makes the deal, the Houston Texans. Fresh off getting to the second round, fresh off having their rookie QB with their rookie coach and their rookie defensive rookie of the year, rookie of the year in Will Anderson, you're putting this real extensive, top tier young nucleus that looks like it's on the verge of going. Now you drop in a Stefon Diggs, who we know what he's good at. He's going to give you all the intermediate stuff, something that they were probably lacking. If we had to make one bugaboo about the Texans passing game, is that it was a lot of deep stuff, deep slant sluggos, taking the top off. We know what that is. But now you're bringing in Dell, Nico, and now as Stefon Diggs with the addition of Joe Mixon early in free agency.
And
Tell
Dalton
me what you
Schultz.
think about this Texans roster now as they bring in who I think is still a true number one wide receiver. Is he a Justin Jefferson number one? No. But I think in this league, he's still a bona fide upper tier number one wide receiver in Stefon Diggs.
Well, Stephon Diggs is still top 10. So let's get that out of everybody's mind now. He's still top 10. Now, you had Nico and Tank Dell and Dalton Schultz. You know what I'm saying? And that was already a top offense. You bring in somebody as dynamic as Stefon Diggs, like my homeboy said, hey, I said, oh, they got Nico, they got Tank. He said, oh, don't forget about Noah Brown. Okay, let's be real.
Chill,
Like, adding
relax.
Noah Brown in that is like saying Shaq, Kobe, and Smush Parker. Like, Noah Brown was not a scrub, but he don't need to be mentioned with those other ones. Like,
Right.
just when you thought the Texans couldn't get any better, like, first of all, you drafted well. You hit a home run on that, and now you're winning free agency with just one move.
Right.
Actually, two moves because you got Joe Mixon, who is an upgrade at the running back position. I think a lot of people would agree. And now you got another number one because Nico came into his own. He came, shout out Nico, I went to high school with him, hometown kid. He came into his own. He said, okay, I can be a number one, maybe not like an elite. You know what I mean? He's trending that direction. But hey, now you don't have to get all the looks, all the coverage because you got somebody over here. So either you're gonna double the 6'4" guy who can stretch the field, or you're gonna double Stefon Diggs. But don't forget, you got Tank Dell coming across on the shallows, on the jet routes, and you still got Dalton Schultz. And let's not forget, you got Joe Mixon. So I think the Texans are going to the conference championship. That's an easy bid.
Wow.
If
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
a betting man, I am a betting man. I will take that right now. I will take that.
I like that. I like it. I like it. I mean, look,
Also,
sure, go ahead.
before we get to it, I also now have the Jets winning that division.
The AFC East.
I got them winning that division because the Bills. I don't see if Aaron Rodgers can come back and be just a smidgen of what he was his last year in Green Bay. The Jets win it, bro.
Interesting. Okay, so I mean, I think there's certainly something to factor there, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the Dolphins think they've gotten better. I haven't seen a big improvement in free agency. If anything, they've lost a lot of pieces, but they still have that offense. And you got to assume, as they build, they will to extend a Mostert for an extra year. So I'm assuming that means they have stability at the running back position.
Mm-hmm.
I think defensively is where they took the biggest hit. They lose Wilkins. He goes and
Yeah.
get the big bag. But I think ultimately it's a two-team division. Like, I don't think, even if Rodgers is still him, I don't see that being enough to get the Jets to where they're winning that division. I think it was still going to be the Bills and the Dolphins no matter what happens with Aaron Rodgers, because I don't think that offensive line for the Jets has been upgraded enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think now with this move, it's definitely not the Bills' division, unless, like you said, if they go out there and go get a T. Higgins, even though I'm not sure if that's a fit in terms of scheme-wise. But if they
Mm-hmm.
just get any type of guy that could take the top off the defense, then maybe I'll re-enter having the Bills at the top of this division. But as it stands right now, I have to agree with you. I really don't see the Bills being the cream of this division because I think the Dolphins, you still have to put them up there because of that offense. And I think because of what we expect Aaron Rodgers to be, even though I have my questions, you have to think
Mm-hmm.
they're more in the mix. And we know that the Patriots are mid as hell right now. They're in tank
Right.
mode for the next couple of years. So do you think there's a way where Buffalo, is there a wide receiver? We've talked about it a lot in this draft. Is there a wide receiver in this draft that's not the big three
Mm-hmm.
that can do the things that we thought this Bills offense needs to get them back to where you think they could be the cream of the crop of this division again?
I mean, I like Adonai Mitchell. I mean, he's long. He runs a sub 4.3, and he's a good route technician as well. But I just think you need more than that. He's a rookie, so he still has to get acclimated, to the game. And you gotta look at it. He's coming from Texas, going up to New York, where it's literally blizzards every other day during the football season. And so,
That's a
like,
fair point.
that's another reason why I don't have the Dolphins winning the division. Because yes, they look like the greatest show on turf at times, but what are they allergic to? Cold weather.
Right.
They fall apart literally every time they're in cold weather. So, their offense is dynamic. It's unbelievable. But if y'all freezing up, no pun intended, in the
Mm-hmm.
cold weather, then you can't do nothing for me. Then, like, you talking about the Jets, they had a top 10 defense last year. All they was missing was competent QB play.
Agreed.
Not even good, just competent. So you dealing with Brees Hall, looking better. He's further and further away from injury. You got a Garrett Wilson. You got Mike Williams. You know,
Yeah.
injuries. But
Yeah.
if he can be even a shell of what he was with Garrett Wilson, and like I said, if Aaron Rodgers comes back and just 3/4 of what he was his last year in Green Bay, I think they have a chance of doing that.
I
But
think the
like,
problem is that offensive line is what allowed Aaron Rodgers to get hurt in the first place, and I haven't seen any real significant
well,
upgrades
well, well,
there.
well, well, let, well, that was Aaron Rodgers' fault because it was a quick slant. You know what I mean? And the
Yes,
linemen, they're cut blocking, and you go
right,
left. And you know,
understood.
on a quick slant, they're cut blocking. You go left. You can't go right, then go back left. You gotta get rid of that ball. So that's on Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers because if the line is cut blocking, obviously
uh huh.
you got 3 seconds to get that ball out. So
If that, yeah,
the pressure coming his way was on him. He's an experienced quarterback. He's one of the greats. He's gonna go down as top 10 all time. You
sure,
know, if it's quick slant and the line is cut blocking, you don't have time to look left, look right, then go back left. So I
right.
mean, that
But
was on
but
him. It
he's
was
also known for his improvisational skills, though. So
well,
as a lineman, even though you know, all right, we're cut blocking, we're only going to give them 3 seconds. You got to know who you got back there, and know that you might have to be able to be more flexible and might have to switch it up
hey,
because
hey,
Aaron is
that's on play
being
calling.
Aaron back there.
That's on play calling. That's on play calling. As a lineman, like the line got a lot of slack, and at some points during the season it was deserved. But on that play, if I'm cut blocking, there's no way I'm 320. I can cut block, get back up, and go get a man who's in a 3-point stance running full speed. Like there's no way they could have stopped that. Now MetLife has a terrible field. Let's get that out of the way
Atrocious.
too. It is terrible. Like I don't know why soccer players are coming there to play. We're gonna lose a lot of ACLs
No, no,
out there.
no, 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 no. They FIFA ain't playing. They made them get rid of all that turf. They're bringing
Oh,
in
they
their own
did.
turf. Yeah, 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 yeah.
They saw
FIFA
they
ain't
saw
playing
Aaron
that.
Rodgers. They saw Aaron Rodgers end up like Testaverde and said we can't do it again.
Facts.
But
Yeah,
yeah, like
nah,
so,
can't have that.
like I said, if Aaron Rodgers come back is just 3/4 of what he was, like I like them better than the Bills as they stand because you got to think about it, they got to address a lot of needs in this draft. You literally have one safety on the roster. That was your biggest need going into it, and now you literally have your best receiver being Curtis Samuel, who's my height. Like, stop it.
It's nasty.
And so are you telling me, hey, Josh Allen, it's not a rebuild, but you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, make lemonade out of shit? I don't. And you couldn't make lemonade out of what you already had, and you had a good number one and a solid number two in Gabe Davis. So I don't. I think it's gonna be a lot of heads rolling at the end of the season for the Bills.
160 targets, and you're just giving that away.
You just giving
Now
it away.
it's been spoken about how Diggs and Josh Allen, there might have been some angst in their relationship and things like that.
Oh, for sure.
I'll only say this, right? I think much like myself and you,
Mm-hmm.
Stefon Diggs saw that everyone was giving this whole Bills resurgence to Josh Allen. And the credit was given to the alleged development of Josh Allen, even though he still has the most turnovers of any QB over the last 4 years. He's
Check.
still not as efficient as you would like him to be. He's still
Check.
known to give you the big turnover, but yet and still is on the cover of Madden. He's in MVP talks every year. Everyone is calling him a franchise QB. They're putting him right under Mahomes in their breakdowns and their rankings. Stefon Diggs heard those same things. And he knows, like me and you know, that all this got flipped upside down in a good way for the Bills once he walked in the building. So there was some beef there on credit and who deserved the credit or who should be getting the shine. And a lot of people try to put it that it was a diva thing, Diggs being Diggs. But to me, and I'll throw this to you, it looked like to me like Diggs was tired of hearing that this was all about Josh Allen improving and not the fact that they got him in his prime and he did work in Buffalo.
Honestly, I don't even giving the credit to Josh. I don't even think that was Stefon Diggs' issue. You feel me? Like if I'm not getting targets and we still winning, so be it. You know what I mean? But if I'm
But
not
has
getting
Stephon Diggs
targets,
shown he could be like that though?
oh yeah, for sure. Like
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
he was always angry. Like I should have got the ball when you throwing it into double coverage to somebody else. That's when don't throw it in double coverage. Give it to me. You know what I mean? Like when Jamar Chase said, "I'm always open." There's only a few receivers who can honestly say that: Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, CD, and Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill. Let me not forget. Like that was Stephon Diggs' biggest issue. Like, hey, if y'all want to give a quarterback all the praise because yeah, he is kind of our Superman and our kryptonite, so be it. But if you gonna get these turnovers and the target's not even going to me, then what we doing? You know what I
Well, I
mean?
think in the second half of the year, and I think this is around when they got rid of Ken Dorsey. You see the targets
Yep.
here: 7, 5, 8,
Yep.
11, 11, 5, 8, 7, 8. So only twice when they got rid of Ken Dorsey did Stefon Diggs get true number one wide receiver targets. Now you could argue, well, the Bills ran off 5 straight, and
Mm-hmm.
Stefon Diggs wasn't giving you Stefon Diggs like production. My thing about that is just the threat of Stefon Diggs is what helps that. Now you're
Right.
taking that away. If you're the Bills OC, how are you scheming this up with no significant upgrade at that position entering next year?
And that's the big question. Because ain't no way you scheming this up with Curtis Samuel and KJ Hamler. Like
Right.
you really asking Josh to do the impossible. Like I
I mean,
don't
but they keep telling
everybody
us he's him, right? They keep saying he's elite. He's right there with Mahomes, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now go prove it. We got rid of your
everybody
best target, the one who made you, in my eyes.
mm-hmm.
Now go prove it.
I mean, that's a mistake on their end. Because y'all saw what he was before him. And granted you can say, okay, he was just entering the league, he just coming to his own. But like, is that really the risk you want to run? Like, if I'm trading Stefon Diggs to I'm at least the number one back. You know, at least go can get 1,000. And have me a speed or a receiver intermediate route, you know, in the
Hey
draft.
Steph,
But
I'm
just
gonna
get
mute your audio real
pick
quick. Your
back.
audio's
Like,
coming in a little
that's just
choppy. Hang on one
bro.
second. Hang on one second. So we're gonna see if Steph's audio can be fixed real quick. Let me just see. Can you check something in your phone real quick? It was coming in a little choppy on my end. Let me go ahead and let me move this out the way real quick. Steph, see if you can fix that real quick, and then just give me a thumbs up. I'll bring you back on. So I think where he's going is a good point, right? Because if you're trying to figure out, and appreciate those pulling up, I appreciate those coming in, hitting up the comments. Feel free, let us know, what are your thoughts on this Stefon Diggs trade? Are the Bills the big winners here, or did the Texans win this trade? Like, is the Josh Allen Stefon Diggs thing, was that not something that could have been saved? Would you have run it back one more year? What say you? Let us know in the comments if you're watching live, if you're catching this on the replay. Should the Bills have tried to run it back one more year with Stefon Diggs? Because obviously this changes the whole dynamic of that offense. And, you know, I think Steph is good to go. Let's see. Yep. All right. Steph, you good? You're unmuted. Let me hear you do a mic check real quick.
Check. You got me?
Okay, you sound way
You
better.
got me?
All right. Let me get you back in.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yes, sir.
So
Let's see. Okay. So I think, you know, I think you were heading into a good point there. I'll throw this at you, though, to kind of shake it up. The Bills obviously feel they need to shake this core group up because Diggs was part of his core. Are they in danger of being like the Seahawks with Russell Wilson after they gave him the bag? Because that defense was the linchpin. They got them to 2 Super Bowls. They won one, tricked off the second. Then they had to pay Russ. And when they paid Russ, the trickle-down effect was, we can't keep the Legion of Boom. We can't keep all these guys at top-tier dollars. We can't bring back Michael Bennett. We can't bring back all these guys. Are the Bills in danger now of being the post-LOB Seattle Seahawks, to where we know we got the quarterback and we paid him, so we're stuck with him. Now we just got to figure out how to build around him. Now the Bills are facing the point of building around Josh Allen, where there's no real blueprint of how to do that with a QB of his skill set. As you mentioned, the Panthers tried it with Cam Newton. They got the 1 Super Bowl because of how good he was, but they couldn't really sustain that excellence. Are the Bills in danger here of closing their window prematurely?
well, check good.
No, your audio sounded a little garbled there. All right,
So
yeah, your mic is garbled. Give me a second. I'll mute you real quick. Hennigan Biz. So I think, you know, and I definitely want Steph's opinion on that. I think ultimately, I think they're in danger of closing this window way too prematurely. I feel as though the Bills are taking a roster that was a ready to win now roster, like a win now roster. They had Von Miller on defense and et cetera, et cetera. They were bringing in Leonard Floyd, bringing in a lot of vets to anchor that defense to try to be enough to get them over the hump to get Josh Allen to a Super Bowl because he was anchoring that offense, allegedly. Now, though, with a lot of those vets on defense, Steph broke it down earlier of how they really only have one safety on the whole roster in DeMar Hamlin. So that defense is going to have to be retooled. Are we now looking at a Buffalo Bills organization that is going to retool on the fly? We might even be able to say rebuild, but at least bare minimum, a retool on the fly. I'm not sure if that's what we're getting here, but I obviously want Steph's opinion. Let's see if we can get the mic right. And Steph, you should be good to go, hopefully. Let's see. What's good, bro? Oh, wait, did I still have you muted? My bad. Let me unmute you. I have you unmuted, but somehow you've muted yourself.
Check. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
The devil is trying today. He would not want us to get this out.
We're going to get these takes out.
You said, are they the post Legion of Boom Seahawks? I don't even think they're there.
Gotcha.
Because you got to think about that team won a Super Bowl. They're more like the Phillip Rivers Chargers. Like you have a dynamic quarterback who can pretty much do anything on the field, but what else is there? Like, as much as we want to talk about Russell Wilson and decline of the Seahawks after he got his money, he did lead them to some Super Bowls. They have not reached those heights yet. So, like, to even put Josh Allen and the Bills in that conversation is a little ludicrous to me. Like, we keep wanting to put him on a pedestal that he hasn't earned yet.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think, and I think that the Phillip Rivers point is a good one. I'm more or less saying in the spectrum of they had a QB on a rookie deal. Mm-hmm. They backloaded him on his extension, right? And they had a roster that was, in theory, ready to win. They had a window. They made it to an AFC championship game. They had some exciting playoff runs, but they could never break through. Now that the back half of that contract is now starting to kick in and eat up more of that cap, now we can't keep bringing back these vets on defense. Like you said earlier, we had to gut our whole defensive secondary where there's only one safety on the roster, and that's the dude that died on the field. So I'm thinking in the sense of, while they had that rookie window where they tried to capitalize, that rookie window is now closed. Now they're paying their franchise QB. Now we got to build around it. Now what's that going to look like?
It's going to look terrible. You got to think about it. When you were at your best, you had a close loss to the Chiefs. Now you're nowhere near that. So, I mean, you're not going up from here. And if, like you said, retooling on the fly, now you're just trying to grab names out of free agency that they may be past their prime now. That's something the Cowboys are known to do. That's something Jerry Jones is known to do. Like, you probably about to start doing his strategy. You about to go for names. It may not be a fit, but hey, maybe it'll appease the fan base. It may look good on paper 4 years ago, but I don't see how you can spin this in a positive direction for the Bills, unless you're just saying, hey, we're gonna do a total rebuild. Like, and if you're doing a total rebuild, you got a clean house. You have to.
And again, to the point of who got the credit in Buffalo, I'm telling you, I think there's something here. Somebody tweeted out, does Josh benefit from having a top-tier receiver? Yes. Is he essential to his success? No. 3 days ago, Stefon Diggs. You sure?
That's my type of carrying on, man. That's my type of carrying on.
And that, to me, is what I'm saying. I think this is about who got the credit. I think a lot of folks prematurely jumped out the window trying to crown Josh Allen, putting him on the cover of Madden and whatnot. And Stefon Diggs is like, well, I mean, goddamn, this dude was the middest of mid and was a turnover machine that was on the verge of being a bust before I got here. Then I get here, turn this thing up, make him a Pro Bowler. I'm still a Pro Bowler, and now he's the one.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's about Josh Allen getting the credit, or Stefon Diggs not getting enough credit?
I think both are saying the same thing. If I'm Stefon, if I'm Stefon Diggs, and you're telling me I come to Buffalo, I was already him in Minnesota. Let's not act like he wasn't him in Minnesota. I was
Right.
him in Minnesota. I made Kirk Cousins a lot of guaranteed bread. I made him some bread. I come over here to Buffalo. I make Josh Allen bread and get him on the cover of Madden. And now you're gonna go toss me aside to go run with C.J. Stroud because you don't realize that I'm him. I've been him in two places. Has Josh Allen even been him without Stefon Diggs? The answer is no. We'll see it this year.
No.
So it's like if I'm Diggs, I keep hearing Kirk Cousins was nice. Well, I was in Minnesota. Was he putting up those kind of numbers in Washington? No. But he goes to Minnesota. He airs it out all the damn time. And now I'm the beneficiary of it because I make him look good. He wore his welcome there. They didn't want to pay him in Minnesota. So they sent him to Buffalo. We got a young QB that needs to be given some confidence. Okay, I got hands. I can catch anything. He's wild and erratic. He overthrows people. He doesn't hit people in the pocket. Okay, fine. I got hands. I could grab anything, pause. And he goes out there and he kills it. And is a multi-time Pro Bowler and makes this dude look like an MVP franchise top tier QB alongside Mahomes. And you still ain't telling me I'm him. So yeah, if I'm Diggs, I made two mid QBs, arguably mid QBs, look like they franchise QBs. I'm him.
Right. So one thing before I jump onto that, when I said Josh Allen getting too much credit or Stefon Diggs not getting enough, I think those can be different things because if you look at when Tyreek Hill was at the Chiefs, right? You can say, oh, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback to play the game. But Tyreek, you something special. So you giving both of them credit in that situation. That never happened when to your point, when Stefon Diggs was at, the Bills. Now, think about what you just said. I made two mid QBs look good and great. Now imagine what he's about to do to a good QB who's only been here for a year.
No, big facts.
And he hasn't lost a step. I don't want people to think that's why he's leaving. Stefon Diggs has not lost a step. Though his stats don't necessarily say that, but he has not lost a step. Like he's still a top 10 receiver in this league. And you going to somebody
I have no doubts about him still. I have no doubts about him.
And like you said, Josh Allen was wild and erratic. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to be Superman all too often. And he turns the ball over more than he should. Now you're going somewhere where this young QB literally does not turn the ball over. He does not. He led the NFL in touchdown to interception ratio as a rookie. Like, he does not turn the ball over. So that's one thing you ain't got to deal with. And you come in a culture that DeMeco Ryans is already establishing that, hey, this is a team effort. Like, we're building together. There are no egos on this team. And you saw that the way C.J. Stroud presents himself. And so it's like, bro, this is going to be amazing for him.
And, bro, you look at these numbers, right? Those last 2 years in Minnesota, and I will confirm, but I believe that was when Cousins got there. Like, so this whole run, he was giving you, look at these targets, 80, 190, 150. In 2018, 150 targets. That's number one wide receiver targets, okay?
Yep.
A slight dip the next year, but still giving you the production with 63 for 11, 30, and 6 tutties. Then they flip him. Get the Buffalo. 166 targets. Led the league in receptions and reception yards at 12 yards a clip, 8 tutties. Then he does even better with the tutties the next 2 years after that. So, like, this is all because of Stefon Diggs, not Josh Allen. And getting folks are still sleeping on him. 9 years in the league, he's almost at 10,000 yards already.
Like
he's him.
And that 2018 year, correct me if I'm wrong, ain't that when they beat the Saints on that walk-off touchdown he had when Buddy ducked his head and missed him?
Yes.
And the Bills must believe in Josh Allen more than we do, or they must see something that we don't.
I really think there was something in the locker room, bro. I think for whatever reason, Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs could not continue to get along. And Stefon Diggs, because he knows he's still him, he was not really out here trying to bow down to no Josh Allen. And I think if you're trying to hand the keys to a QB, he needs to be able to have that respect in the locker room. And Stefon Diggs could always sit there in the corner and be like, I made this dude. This dude. You giving him all to say. You let him run the show. I made him. All right, Josh. Just like you said with the Chiefs had to make a decision. Are we going to keep Tyreek Hill and give him the bag to keep him paired with Mahomes? Or do we believe in Mahomes enough to where we could let go of a weapon like Tyreek Hill and still get it done? And they've proven to be right. It remains to be seen if the Bills are going to get this right, but I think the Bills are on the same type of time where we got Josh Allen, and I know we love the combination of Allen and Diggs, but I think for Allen to continue to take another step, assuming he's capable of doing so, they have to move on from Diggs.
I mean, take another step, but
And this
where
is
is
their
the Bills'
perception, not
problem?
mine.
Right. But where's the Bills' problem? Is when you ask Josh Allen to do too much. Taking away Diggs is doing just that. You're literally asking him to do too much at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's when he got all his turnovers. So you taking away literally the best receiver, the guy who made him Josh Allen, or helped make him Josh Allen, let me say that. And you're saying, okay, stand on your own too. And I don't see how you think you're gonna compete with the Chiefs, the Ravens, or anybody like that. Like you're no longer a top team in the AFC to me no more. Like you definitely take a step behind the
Yeah.
Texans.
Yeah, I mean,
And even
it's hard to
healthy
co-sign.
Bengals.
It's hard not to co-sign, right? Because if you're looking at a team that offensively was stagnant at times because, some games James Cook is allowed to run. Then some other weeks they're trying to force feed it to Gabe Davis, and then they got to get Kincaid involved. So it's like the offense, especially after they got rid of Ken Dorsey, they really didn't have an identity. They were really just leaned into, all right, Josh, yo, white Cam Newton, go do it.
Right.
And he was able to do it until he got into the playoffs, and then Josh Allen went Josh Allen.
I mean,
and that's what he has shown that he's going to do when in the playoffs. Yes, he had that magical game against the Chiefs, but that was just a second round game, and he lost. So we keep hyping him up off that one performance like that made him, but what has he done in the postseason since then?
And let's talk about that performance, right? You had one close loss to Mahomes, and people pretty much said, "Oh, this is Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady."
They changed the rules. They changed the overtime rules because of it.
Patrick Mahomes is Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Let's just get out of the way. He doesn't have a nemesis at this point. He doesn't have one. He's really head and shoulders above everybody else. When Peyton and Tom would against each other, okay, Peyton, you the best in the regular season. Tom is just special in the playoffs. Josh Allen had one close loss to Mahomes, and they said, "Oh, he's him." You know what it remind me of? Game 6, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson had one great game 6, and that has been carrying that game 6 legacy for years now.
Right. So you see it here, that magical game everyone talks about, and he obviously had a good game the week before that, but it was against the Patriots, so we'll relax there. But 4 tutties, no interceptions, over 300 yards. He ran for another 100 and scored another tutty that way. So he accounted for 5 TDs after scoring 7 TDs the week before against the Patriots.
Great playoff. Right. I give you that.
But then what has happened since then is the real question.
Carrying his legacy, bro. A close loss to Mahomes is literally carrying that legacy. Like, I'm a Cowboys fans, but I ain't even been a homer on this one. People crucified Dak for all the interceptions he threw. He turns around and then leads in touchdowns. Josh Allen been doing this since he got in the league, but you don't hear a peep be like, well, that's just Josh Allen. He's aggressive. He put the team on his back. Like, come on, bro. Let's call a spade, bro. He a turnover machine. And if you're a constant turnover machine, you can't be top 5 in this league. You can't. We can't trust you with the ball.
And then, that next year after that mystical, magical performance, all right, he threw for 300 yards, took 7 sacks, threw 2 picks. Let's see, any fumbles? They don't have that here. But at least 2 more picks. And then they survived. They advanced, get to the next round against the Bengals. And then against the Bengals, he was mid. 260, no tutties, and another pick. So it's like, again, what has he done since that magical run when everyone was prophesizing that, like you said, it was going to be a Manning-Brady type thing, when it's going to be Mahomes versus Josh Allen? We haven't seen that. It just hasn't come to be. And same thing again, second round the year after that. 1 tutty, 2 interceptions, sacked 4 times. Still
That's
get the
nasty.
dub. Bengals, those for 240, 2 tutties, took a sack. But again, when you're looking at, certain numbers that strike you, he had to run for his life at that game. 34 rushing attempts. 34.
That's nasty. That's disgusting. 34 rushing attempts.
What are we talking about here? So that team was running the ball that day. If we really want to get into what happened there, yes, they were on the road, I believe. Let's see. No, they were at home. Okay, they were at home. So they lost at the crib, got blown out at the crib, 27-10. Let's go ahead and tap in and see what the hell happened. We'll get the full numbers here. So Josh Allen, 25 of 42, 264. Like, if you're looking at the numbers here, the numbers don't strike you as someone that's elite. The numbers don't strike you as someone that's important.
Right.
He was blitzed 12 times, hurried 8 times, took 6 hits. That's not a lot. Out of 42 dropbacks.
That doesn't equate to 32 runs.
Right. So 42 passing plays, and you had 32 designed runs. Now, and out of those 42 dropbacks, you only got hit 6 times. You only got blitzed 12 times.
Right.
So the pressure wasn't even on you like that. You had time to cook in the pocket, yet the numbers are mid.
You know what it's telling me, bro? He's overrated. This is the definition of overrated.
To me it is as well. I agree with you.
Y'all calling him a top 2 QB, and you can't get it done in crunch time. This is why people call Dak Prescott overrated. He's not a bad quarterback, but if you can't get it done in crunch time, then you literally lost to the same people every year, the Bengals and the Chiefs. Now, I get it. A lot of people lose to them, but if you can't beat them, then maybe we look for somebody else to do it.
Bro, I think there's so much to make of this deal. Let me go ahead and just go to the timeline real quick, see if there's anything new. Okay. Stephen A. Smith, your boy, says the Texans are now the best team in Texas. Okay, so he's doing like he always does. He finds a way to make it about the Cowboys.
Man, we in his head rent free, but that ain't saying much. That ain't saying much.
He's looking at Texans offense. Me and you've been talking about C.J. Stroud, Mixon, Diggs, Nico, Tank Dell. Tank Dell's gonna be able to come in there and take that top off the defense. It's gonna be so easy for him now.
It's gonna be easy,
absolutely
bro.
Cake. Those 9 routes gonna be so wide open for him. You're gonna have to play 3 deep. You're gonna have to play cover 3, and then all that's gonna do is open up underneath for Schultz and Diggs. Schultz and Diggs are gonna eat you up on rub routes underneath. Then you got Nico doing post corners, and then if you're stupid and try to do cover 1 or cover 2, then here's Tank running 9 routes or sluggos.
Yeah, it's gonna be nasty, bro. It's gonna be nasty because Nico showed us that he can be a true X. He can handle those double teams. I mean, he's 6'3", 6'4". He runs a sub 4.5, 4.4. And he a lot of times he played like Mike Evans last year with the double teams, but still going up to be the big body that he is. So you add a Stefon Diggs who requests that type of attention too, bro. This is gonna be a fun team to watch. And they still got plenty of cap space. They got draft capital. Like they pretty much just having fun now. They're having fun. They don't have any pressing needs. I mean, you can go get you some DBs now in the draft because you really don't need anything on the offensive end. Like, yeah, like I told you, they conference championship bound automatically.
So here is someone who is anti this trade. I don't know who the hell this person is, but we'll use this to react to it. Texans should have went for T. Higgins. Here's Stefon Diggs with and without Josh Allen. So see now, this person's going to try to make the stats look funny to where Diggs is not him without Josh Allen. Let's see how he does it here. 70 games played. So he gets his Viking stats, which is, again, this is over 4 years. So 4 years, you're getting over 4,000 yards and 30 tutties, but he's going to try to play that game. And out of Bills, without Josh Allen, 66 games, over 5,000 yards, 37 receiving touchdowns. That don't sound like mid numbers to me.
I don't get what he was trying to pull here.
That's 5 years of football, right? If we're doing 16 games, that's about 5 years of football. And you're still getting 5,000, you're getting 1,000 yards every year.
Right.
and you're getting 7, 8 tutties every year. So I don't know what the point was here. He tried it, but the math ain't mathing from his perspective.
You also have to remember that when he was in Minnesota, Adam Thielen was still technically their number one until they just had to get Diggs the ball because he proved that he was better. So that's not even going to reflect what he's trying to say. I don't understand what that guy was trying to get at here.
Yeah, he tried it. He tried it. Shout out to Chatted Up Sports. Huge move for H-Town. Love this for Stroud. Nah, it's a huge move. I mean, there's no way around it. It's an impact move. It's a potential franchise-changing move. Like, we talked about when they had Nasty Man and they had Nuck and they had, whether it was Arian Foster and that whole core group back in the day, like they had a nice little run there. And then for a myriad of reasons, mainly Bill O'Brien, but for a lot of reasons, that whole thing had to be broken down. Now you're looking at a rebirth of sorts where you have the QB in CJ. Joe Mixon, I think he's a stopgap. I don't think he's the guy. I think he's good enough for the next year, maybe 2, if you have to squeeze another year out of him. Pause.
Right.
But with that receiving core, which we saw last year, they airing it out. They not even trying to play it as funny. Like, they are throwing that ball. They're chucking the rock. So you're overloading your man C.J. Stroud on the rookie deal with the weapons. And that's the thing that matters. You're catching him on the rookie deal, and you're going to overload him with weapons so he can't fail. You're not going to do like the Bears are trying to do that with Caleb. Look, we did it wrong with Justin. We tried to do it late, but we tricked it off. Chase Claypool, and we tried it. We failed. Now we got Caleb. Okay, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. We're going to overload you with weapons, Swift. We're going to overload your weapons so you can't fail. The Texans are doing that, but I think they're doing it better.
They're doing it better. And I just saw that Diggs contract, 4 years, $75 million, $18 million guaranteed. 31 of that dead space is going to the Bills.
So they're eating a lot of that money too. That's even nastier.
That's nastier. And yes, if I'm CJ Stroud and I see this, bro, I'm rubbing my hands like Birdman. I am excited.
Facts.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go play football again. Like, I literally cannot wait to go play football.
I mean, they got 2 extra picks. They got a 5th and a 6th.
You are spoiling me at this point. D'Amico Ryans, bro, he's doing one hell of a job. Like, he's doing amazing right now.
And who is the GM out there? Who's the GM out there? Because I think he's home team as well.
Yeah, I have to go look into that one. But them boys,
they cooking.
The Texans are no longer a laughing stock. Like, and they showed that last year. These boys they about to shock a lot of people. It ain't even gonna be a shock because you saw what they did last year. And then you got a legit number one. Not saying Nico's not a legit number one, but you got 2 of them now.
Right. Yeah. The fact that they were able to pull off what they did last year, make the trades, trade back up, have the 2nd and the 3rd.
Yep.
Like, and get arguably the best offensive rookie and arguably the best defensive rookie with the 2nd and 3rd pick and hit on both of those.
You hit.
Now you're building. Now, see, that's the thing. That's why the draft, as much as free agency is a thing, and, obviously you came on here a few weeks ago and gave us your whole first round mock, like hitting on that draft is so important to where it can set the table to where now you can get rid of picks. I hit on my 2nd and 3rd. You know what? I don't need this 2nd next year. If you're giving me what I need right now to capitalize on this window, because the clock is ticking on the CJ Stroud rookie deal. They got 4 more years to get this thing rolling. So they're taking a chance. They made it to the 2nd round the first year. That was a bonus. That was not expected. But now that we realize, we hit. We didn't just hit on these picks. We hit. Okay.
Home run.
I'm going to go get Diggs now. I don't care about that 2nd round pick. I could probably leverage that to go get another project guy that we could build up and work. No. I want Diggs, something that is a bona fide, quantifiable asset right now.
Right.
Give me that. Bring him into this building right now to help my QB do even more next year.
Yeah, man. CJ Stroud about to have a Joe Burrow type year, man. Think about it. Joe Burrow first year.
He better.
His first year, he got hurt. What he do that 2nd year? Oh, snap. He in the Super Bowl. Like, now if you tell me y'all make it to the conference championship, y'all go up against Mahomes, who's just otherworldly, okay, I understand that. But
sure,
you still got 3 more years because you can, do that player option, do that team option. You still got 3 more years. The Texans are here. Like if they continue to go upward, I got the Chiefs, I got the Ravens, healthy Bengals / Texans. That's how I see it right now.
I mean, if you're the Ravens, and me and you briefly spoke about this off air, and you brought up the point of, if you're Lamar, are you hitting up Baltimore and saying,
What
like,
happened?
what's good? Like, y'all didn't have they have a second.
Right.
Y'all couldn't throw that low first. Y'all
Come
couldn't
on.
sweeten the pot. Y'all couldn't beat the Bills deal of a second round pick. We trying
Right.
to win
Like,
right now, right? Like, y'all keep selling it. Y'all paid me, so I'm here. Y'all paid Andrews. He's here. Y'all drafted Zay. Salute. But I still need one more, because we
right.
saw the shortcomings of still not having enough weapons against the Chiefs.
Right.
And they haven't made any move in this offseason that makes me think they've rectified that. They've made the upgrade of Derrick Henry, so the running game is solidified. He never gets hurt,
Right.
and he's still a monster to bring down in
You gotta
2024.
respect it.
Cool.
You gotta respect it.
RPO nuts. All right, cool. Now on the outside, he still needs some help.
Yeah.
You
for
have
sure,
a bunch
'cause
of
Rashad
intermediate
Bateman.
guys. I got nobody on a sluggo who scares anybody. You tried it with
Right.
Odell a few years, them legs ain't the same. Pause.
Yeah, I mean, Rashad Bateman showed us that he's just
He's
not what they thought he was going to be.
No,
You know what I
he
mean?
a slot guy at best.
I thought he was going to be great coming out of college because I saw him destroy Auburn in the bowl game, and I saw him a couple times, his last year there at Minnesota. But yeah, if I'm Lamar, I'm looking like we didn't have before, because obviously they don't care about trading within the division.
Right.
Well, in the conference, I should say. So like we can throw at least a third. You know what I mean? To give me
It's
a
wild.
legit number one receiver. Like Lamar has still yet to play with a bona fide number one.
No.
Like you already said what Stefon Diggs for Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen. You look at Jalen Hurts' development when he got,
AJ
what's my
Brown.
name? AJ Brown. So imagine what Lamar could be with a Derrick Henry and a Stefon Diggs. Like, if you ain't talking about Super Bowl favorites, then what you talking about? So if I'm Lamar, I'm like, dang, we probably got to start tampering now. Because I am a Cowboy fan, but hey, if I'm Lamar, I'm like, look, man, CD, the boys ain't gonna pay you. Come on
Something.
over here with me. Come on over here
Somebody.
with me. Somebody you got to start tampering at this point.
Yeah, because and that's the thing. All these young QBs, teams have done better from this standpoint in terms of putting help around them. Like even
Right.
the Chargers. Herbert walks in and he's got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, he's got Eckler in the backfield. Like he walked in to a squad. Burrow,
Right.
we know the deal they made to make sure that they could go and have Jamar Chase, and then they still had Tyler Boyd at the time, and then they developed T. Higgins, and then he exploded. Like that's you have to surround these rookie QBs with weapons.
With talent,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, the talent still has to be done. You can't just hand them the keys day one and say good luck. That shit used to pop in the 80s, even into the 90s. That shit can't fly no more.
Yeah, man. I don't. CJ Stroud is the big winner. Like, and JJ Watt just said it. Houston's a top tier destination. Yeah, it is. It literally is. You thought when they traded Deshaun Watson,
Until CJ has to
years.
get paid. And then and then the money won't be there. And then the bread won't be there.
I mean, but if you can get you one, or while he's still in his rookie deal, you can say it's a success.
Oh, for sure. I think
All you
I
need-
think that's the whole move. The whole move is we got 4 more years. The
Right.
clock is ticking. We got 4 years
got four.
to get a dub.
And if you're saying you can probably get one in 4, then okay. I think Stefon Diggs has a better chance now getting a ring than he did with the Bills. Because, like you said, in crunch time, Josh Allen always turned back into Josh Allen. And CJ Stroud has showed us, even as a rookie, that one thing he can do is take care of the ball. And like we said, the Texans got cap space, they got plenty of it. They got draft capital, so if they want to trade to still pick up some players, they can do that. So
Yeah, I'm
like,
trying to see what wide receivers are still left on the market, because it's just I don't know who's left. Because if I'm the Bills, you can't just depend on that 28th pick, bro. I'm starting to really think about it. if you're Josh Allen, you can't be happy that this squad is potentially just going to sit and wait to see what's at 28.
If you Josh Allen, so that's the thing about the two quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud somewhere on his knees, pause, praising the Lord for this trade. Josh Allen somewhere punching air. That's what's happening.
Yeah. Like that 28th pick, like, bruh. Now,
28, 60,
they
and
have
128.
ammo now if they want to move up. They have ammo if they want to move up. Okay, so let's like this obviously doesn't have the updated trade in it, but and we'll wrap up here in a few minutes. But if we have this here with Buffalo and they have the Houston second round pick, which is via the Vikings anyway. So 28 and 42, if they leverage that, how high would you be willing to accept that? If they come calling, let's say you're Pittsburgh.
Right.
You just got rid of a wide receiver. We know how good they are at drafting wide receivers. So they might feel confident that we don't need to be at 20 to get a wide receiver. If you're Pittsburgh, would you be willing to take 28 and 42 to move down?
Yeah, but I don't see what you're getting at 20 that you can't get at 28. Because I'm looking at these teams, and no one is really pressed about a receiver in those. Like, yeah, I would take that deal if I'm Pittsburgh because you get 2 picks. And
I
they're
mean,
not bad picks.
if you're the like, okay, so let's go through it, right?
Okay, no, you're right. Because I mean,
Bengals should be looking at wide receiver.
Right. So if
Rams
I would
probably won't be.
I'll try to get that Rams or that Cincinnati pick.
Okay.
Because you know Cincinnati gonna draft a receiver.
They should.
They definitely should. But even from the Bills, because then, if I'm not mistaken, then the Colts franchise tag Michael Pittman.
Yes. So he's
Is that exclusive?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me see. I'll look it up.
Cause if I'm Baltimore, if I'm the Bills, I'm calling, and you can still draft somebody.
Non-exclusive.
It's not exclusive.
So
well,
he could be gotten.
He can be gotten. So that's one to look at. Even if I'm Lamar, I'm saying, bro, call about T. Higgins. Even though I don't think, well, we've seen a lot of people jump ship and go to same teams in the division, so it could happen.
Yeah, it's just very weird. It's very weird that the Texans were able to get this off. I wonder if this shocked folks around the league, like how it shocked us. Like, because, I mean, the fact of Diggs being moved wasn't shocking. It's Diggs to where he went. It's the fact that he went to the Texans. That's the part
Diggs
that's like,
to Texas, him to Texas, and it's not the Cowboys with his brother.
Right, because that was also a thing that was lobbied about for, on the low for years.
For sure, because they even talked about it. We want to play with each other.
Right.
And Stefon Diggs just got his money. He just got his money.
And you could make a case that I certainly think the Cowboys have a second that they could have gave up.
Oh,
if all it takes is a second, I can't see how they would not have the wherewithal to go get that done.
And you telling me the Bills eat $31 million? The Bills eating $31 million of that cap space. So you can make some stuff work, especially if the Bills eat up a lot of that dead money.
I mean, low key, I'll throw this out here. If you're Arizona, and you probably gonna get he who should not be named son at number 4,
right?
Diggs and Nat to go with Kyler.
Oh, that's
surrounding that boy with that talent.
Oh yeah. That would.
So I think a lot of teams in this second round have to be second guessing themselves. Like, if we knew that's all it was going to take.
If I'm the Chargers.
Oh, Diggs is not a Harbaugh guy. Diggs is definitely not. Harbaugh is. He's trying to run that Michigan shit, that Stanford Michigan shit. He's trying to run that in the pros. I don't know how that's going to go, but
Well, you know he getting a lineman with that number 5 pick. That's solidified. He getting a lineman there.
Or JJ.
Oh no, he not getting JJ, man. He getting a lineman. He getting a lineman. But think about when he was
Even he ain't that stupid. You sure?
man, he ain't that crazy, man. When he was at Stanford, what he do?
But if he
built
does do that, the ransom he would get for Herbert,
bro. If he drafts JJ McCarthy at number 5,
we'll all explode. Twitter will explode.
bro,
Like
bro.
everything will cease to exist.
I don't know what I'd do. Honestly, I do not know what I'd do because that is sabotage. That's sabotage if you draft JJ McCarthy at number 5 when you got Justin Herbert. Now, I already told you, Justin Herbert is Phillip Rivers with a Supercuts coupon. But he is way better than JJ McCarthy. Way better.
Is he way better in Harbaugh's mind? See, that's the key. If they clearly have handed him the keys, they wouldn't have allowed any other new coach to come in and tear it down to the studs like Harbaugh has in just a month or so.
Right.
So, I mean, if he's not high on Herbert, he knows his mans. Go get JJ, then spin the block second, third round. Go get Blake. If McConkey's chilling there in the second round, maybe you go do that. Like,
man, if Harbaugh does that, bro, it's malpractice. It's malpractice. That's worse than drafting Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. That is malpractice.
And Mahomes, nasty.
And Mahomes. That's malpractice if Harbaugh does that.
I think it's a lot of teams that should be shit. If you're Washington, knowing we're going to take a QB at 2, Jaden Daniels could have had Stefon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that to go with that core, to go with McLaurin, to go with Dotson, to go with Robinson. Again, surround the kid with talent so he can't fail.
Yeah, man. If all it took was a 4th round pick, bro, and they're willing to trade it within the conference, like within the AFC, a lot of teams should have been calling. Like, hell, even the Colts, like, bro, come on. I'm like, hey, send them to us. Because obviously he turns average guys into all pros and, Pro Bowl guys. So you have to make that pick.
Yeah, it's real. It's getting real nasty out here. It's getting real nasty out here. And look, Stefon's been gracious enough to pull up. Me and him were just chopping it up via text. I'm like, yo, man, you want to come on? And he was like, hey, I'm ready. I'm always ready. So he pulled up. And look, we've given y'all instant analysis for about an hour. Now y'all tell us, well, what do y'all think? Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. If you're catching this on the replay, let us know. Tap in with Stefon. I'll make sure his Twitter and his IG is in the comments once this is done. But Steph, any last closing remarks on this huge trade, man?
Jerry Jones found a way to blow it again. That's it. And if you're a betting person, if you're in the parlays, take the Texans to go to the conference championship. I don't know if they'll win it, but they are going to be there. They will be there.
Because Jordan's still Jordan. Like, it's Jordan, like, all right, this is a great move. They should be the best team in Texas, all this. But, hey, that other squad, they still got Jordan. No matter what Rashid Rice is doing, whipping around, they still got Jordan over there.
Oh, that's still a bad man. So, hey, still a bad man, but they gonna be in the AFC Conference Championship, bro. That Josh Allen, get ready because I'm about to put some nasty narratives.
It's long overdue, right? It's been long overdue.
Long overdue. These Cam Newton comparisons, they stop now. You have never reached those heights, and it doesn't look like you're going to. You're not going to.
Big facts. All right, Stefon Sheffield has been my guest. You can catch him on all social media platforms. I make sure to have his content down there in the description once this wraps up. Stefon, thank you so much for pulling up here on Timeline T.
No problem, bro. Thanks for having me.
All right, y'all. So, look, I wanted to make sure to come on here and do this right. I wanted to make sure that everything, was happening instantaneous in the moment. This is the type of stuff I want to be able to provide y'all. It's not only come here and give my commentary, but bring on people who, are also students of the game and know their shit. So make sure you tap in with Stefon. But y'all know how I do. I'll pull up the next time something big happens, pause, and the podcast will be coming back very, very soon. I got some stuff I want to get off my chest in regards to, the women's college basketball that's been popping off. Definitely want to tap in on that. So, maybe Stefon will pull up for that as well. But I have some things in the tuck, some ideas in the tuck. Want to bring y'all some good exclusive content. So subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button, all that good YouTube stuff that the YouTube algorithm likes. And I will catch y'all on the next one. One more again. Peace.